Welcome to Midnight Mule FPL. I'm Midnight Mule and this is the video for Game Week 15 where we look at my plans and what I might do. But before that, let's see who's been doing well in Game Week 14. Top scorer in our mini league was Bernard Tawindo with Team Big O with 99 points, which is very nice. Captain Salah 36, Young 15, Rogers 8, Kirkes 8, Palmer 7, Robinson 6, Pickford 6, Haaland 5 and Vardy 4. And then look at that, a perfect bench, absolutely nothing. And then top is Luis Philippe with red 74 and Demola J with black Wakanda United. And I may be saying that wrong and I'd never heard the word before. So I had to Google it, so now I know what it belongs to. And that was for a total of 969. So we look at Luis Philippe's one first. That was with Salah 18, Captain Palmer 14, Trent 6, Robinson 6, Gvardiol 6, Enzo 5, Pedro Porro 5. And then on the bench, nothing. And then Demola J, we have Captain Salah 36, Watkins 12, Saliba 15, Rogers 8, Gahey 6. And that's all. And on the bench, nothing. As for me, I'm down in 424th. I got 66 points. And it says a green arrow in the league, but overall it's actually a little red arrow. That was with Salah 18, Captain Palmer 14, Rogers 8, Robinson and Gvardiol 6, Porro 5, and nothing on the bench. And you'll see in the middle Jackson and Gabriel. Well, I took a -8 to bring those two in last week and they didn't even play. So 66 points. Had I not taken that hit for the non-playing players, I would have got a small green. So although it was a red, I actually feel quite good about the score because I kind of feel my general approach was all right. I just was maybe a bit unfortunate with the transfers. So feeling all right, feeling good. So there we are. That's my third red arrow in a row, but they're all smallish red arrows and we got a long way to go yet. So I'm now nearer the 4 million mark than the 3 million mark, but that's okay. It's only a game and I could still get up to as high as 2 million before the end of the season. Who knows? Thank you very much to everyone who watches these videos and likes, subscribes, leave comments. It's very much appreciated. So there's a website called FPL Gameweek I like to look at, and they have a content creators league. And currently the top content creator is FPL Updates and Tips, which has got something to do with FF Scout, Fantasy Football Scout. Now I didn't know what picture to put there and I couldn't find anything specific to that team online, so I've just put the FS Scout logo up there. So if you know who it belongs to, you've got a Twitter handle or something, I would actually appreciate that in the comment. Now I know a lot of YouTubers that I watch will say a couple of times in the video, oh, how did you do? Tell me in the comments. What would you do if my team? Tell me in the comments. And they just want to fill up their comments basically so it looks good for the algorithm. But I genuinely want to know, do we know the handle for that team that's top? And then Harry, he, by his own confession, had a bad week. And how bad was it? It was even worse than me. So he's down to third now. Praz is in 6th and Ben Krellin's 8th. Ben featured a lot last season because he was doing very well. As for me, I'm all the way down in 69th, which is actually one position higher than last week. But I'm now 29 behind Elena, who outscored me, but she fell a position. And then FPL Salah's a little bit higher than that, another 4 points higher. So potential transfer for Game Week 14. I am tempted to bring in Trent, and looking online at the different sites, he may be going up tonight, he may not. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Now, a reason not to bring him in is there's a remote chance currently the game may get postponed because of the storm that's coming in. Probably won't, but it may do. A reason not to postpone it is because it's a Liverpool derby. Most of the fans will still be able to make it to the stadium. Whereas the Man United Forest game that's a bit later on, can the fans from Nottingham Forest get up there? And if they think there's going to be big disruption, maybe that will get postponed. And I've read that already the Welsh football games and rugby games, they've all been postponed for tomorrow. And I think there might have been an EFL game that's postponed as well. So a postponement's possible. I don't know how much I need to worry about that though. So how would I bring him in? Well, I've got 3 options. One is Aiton Nori. So he's got 3 good games left. I think he's on 4 yellows. So in 4 game weeks time, I wouldn't want him anyway. So this is just me selling him a little bit earlier. And Wolves have been disappointing the last 2 game weeks. I could move on Rico Lewis. Now, City did keep a clean sheet last game week, but of course Lewis didn't play. But I also have Gvardiol, and I would always play Gvardiol over Lewis anyway. And I've had a look, and there's maybe 1 week in the next several where I wouldn't mind starting 2 Man City defenders. So I could afford to move him on. The other one at the same price point is Robinson from Fulham, but I actually really like him as an attacking defender. So I don't really want to get rid of him. And although the next 2 fixtures aren't great for Fulham, they've then got, I think, home to Southampton. So if I do this move, currently I'm favouring moving Aït-Nouri on. But I don't know yet. I'm going to be probably up as late as possible, trying to see what's happening with the Storm and deciding what I want to do. So the way my team's lining up at the moment, I've got Salah wearing the old mule hat away to Everton. I know that traditionally when Liverpool have the early game and they're away, they don't do so well, as in fewer goals. However, this is in Liverpool, so that whole side of things being away may be a bit irrelevant. Then we have Saka away to Fulham. I think last season Arsenal got 1 point out of 6 against Fulham. So is this year they're going to try a little bit harder, try as hard as they can, get revenge and try and thrash Fulham? I'm sure they always want to thrash who they're playing, but they've got extra incentive this time. And his mate Gabriel in defence, but we don't know if he's going to play or not. Rodgers at home to Southampton, but there's talk online that he may get rested. Fabianski, my only playing keeper at home to Wolves. If I do the Trent move, I'll have 0.1 or 0.2 left in the bank, and I can't actually afford to get in another keeper. So if the West Ham boss gets sacked because they lose tomorrow, the new boss may decide to play Areola instead, in which case I've got no playing keeper. Then Palmer with his mate Jackson, they're away to Spurs. Obviously Spurs and Chelsea, their fans in particular aren't best friends, so that could be quite a spicy affair. Then Aït-Nouri away to West Ham with his mate Cunha. Gvardiol away to Palace, and João Pedro away to Leicester. So most of my players are playing away tomorrow. As for the bench, I got Ramsdale with his broken finger, but he might be back in a couple of game weeks. Then I got Smith Rowe. I was tempted to play him because, of course, he was an Arsenal player and he's returning to Arsenal. And statistically, it definitely seems like when a player returns back to their club, they've got a higher chance of scoring than normal. It's just something that happens. So I think he could do all right tomorrow. And then I got Robinson, second sub. I like him all right. I do like him, but obviously any of the other defenders are a better choice than him. And then Lewis away to Palace. The reason I've got Lewis behind Robinson is I'm already playing Gvardiol. And then as for the background picture, that's just a reference to the coming Storm, what this game's going to be like. It's going to be interesting to find out. And there we have it. That's what happened in Game Week 14 and my plans for Game Week 15. And I'll post my team on X tomorrow if I remember. I normally do remember, just in case any of you want to know what I actually did. Thank you very much for watching and all the best for Game Week 15. Bye.